First blood.
Hey, how's it going guys, JC here. So what happened was earlier today I was on my Tilt account and I couldn't get my top lane role. They just refused to give it to me, so I decided to just pick any random mid laner, lock it in. I didn't even bother with runes, I just locked in and then I thought I'm gonna dodge on the last second. So what I did was I dodged on 1 second, like literally like 2, 1, and I dodged instantly. I didn't wait for that 1 to end. But then the game went through, so I was so shocked, I was so confused. And I just had to go through with this game. And on the other team was Midbeast, so I was facing Midbeast in the mid lane. Mind you, I've never touched Kassadin ever, so this is actually literally my very first time playing Kassadin. I thought this is game over, I just instantly lost. But as you guys can see from title, this is going to be a very hilarious game. It's really funny. The game I played prior to this one was a Mundo game and I actually popped off. I did really well, and these were the runes that I was running. So I had Conditioning, Overgrowth, Approach Velocity, and Magic Footwear with Grasp Undying Kassadin. As you guys can see, at this point in the game, I was so spooked, I was just pooping my own pants, and I literally thought I was just going to die if I get ganked, so I was just not even caring about CS. All I was prioritizing was just not dying, and I like look at the CS, that cannon was just gone, but yeah. Just basically stayed back, stayed at full health, and just poked him with Q. And my priority, it wasn't CSing, it was just to fight and win. Or at least just not die, and take minimal damage and not get ganked. So I was staying really far back so that it's impossible for Evelyn to do anything to me. By the way, in this video I gathered from 3 different perspectives. One of them is Overwolf, which is what you're seeing right now. So I get to see the kills and also the deaths. And that's where I have the footage from. I don't really have the live recording. So outside of that, I have spectate mode and then Midbeast streams. So those are the 3 perspectives I have. I put them all in this video. Took a very long time, so be sure to drop that like because it's going to be very entertaining.
If you don't gank, I don't know. If you don't gank a Kassadin pre-6, you're actual inting.
So as you heard from his reaction, if I got ganked pre-6, I would have been in a lot of trouble, which is definitely true. And that's why I gave up so much CS and I kept track of where Evelyn is to make sure that I do not get ganked. I'll just miss CS, I'll miss EXP, I don't care, as long as I don't feed. And that was my priority, so I was staying really far back. I was warding the river and then I was looking at where Evelyn was. I was just staying so far back that it's impossible for her to gank me. Being a first time Kassadin, I was so clueless with how he works that I didn't even know what his passive did. So apparently you take 15% less magic damage and you're also permanently ghosted so that he's unaffected by creep block. I do feel like all credit goes to you guys because I made the Bronze to Diamond series and I'm first timing so many champions to the point where it's actually okay to bring a first time champion into like high diamond and challenger because these are challenger players that I'm facing against. And I managed to still pull my own weight despite never playing this champion at all and just quickly looking up a build guide on the side and just quickly doing my research because I know roughly which websites to go to, how to do my research really quickly on the fly, and all of this practice is just coming into fruition here in this game where I was absolutely thrown off. I didn't even have time to set up the right rune page, but apparently what I heard is Grasp of the Undying is actually good for Kassadin. I'm not sure if it is now, but I did look up some Kassadin players afterwards and I noticed that Airy is what they all run now, so apparently it's fallen out of favor and this was like an old meta, but still works really well. Throughout the video, I'll just be showing you guys Midbeast perspective as well as my one and also spectate mode for the most part. I do have to owe it to Midbeast because I do watch quite a bit of his streams as well as TF Blade. So if there's one thing that I did learn is that you always want to make sure that you follow roams or at least roam to bot lane, and that's the most important because bot lane houses 4 players and if you could impact those 4 players then your chances of winning just skyrockets. It was actually hilarious how he stood still there because of that corrupting potion running just gave it away. And also the fact that LeBlanc passive never stands still, it always automatically runs away, so you have to manually control it to stand still and that's very difficult to do. So as you guys can see, I had horrendous CS but I did follow the roam and I am actually popping off. I'm 4-1 and at this point I'm just switching over to Overwolf so that I have the better perspective here because spectate mode doesn't give as much detail. As you guys can see, Overwolf, you get to see in the middle of the screen, just above my action bar where my abilities are, you can see every single button and every mouse click that I make. So I finished off Leona with the R flash, but I've never actually executed that ever. It's just something that I've seen in Midbeast streams, so I kind of owe it to himself for teaching me that one.
Sounds so sweet.
Fast forward a little bit, he actually goes to lane before me, pushes it out, and then starts roaming right away. But unfortunately, my team is actually losing, so you guys can see on the scoreboard right now in the spectate mode that my entire team's losing except for me. At this point, I was feeling extremely stressed. I actually told my team that I cannot play mid to late game, so you guys need to carry, okay? Because I'm going to be dead weight. That's literally what I was typing to my team because I had no faith in myself. So I guess we were getting some Camille gank, but that Camille E flash was so clean. You guys can see he used it right after Midbeast used his W to wave clear. At this point in the game, my bot lane got completely demolished and their bot lane is now at my top lane and the enemy top laner is now mid. So I'm kind of being held and pushed in by a Fiora and I don't really do well against Fiora. Not that I was very confident anyway, so I felt very nervous. I know I'm 6-1, that's what's keeping me from feeding at the moment. But in terms of getting pushed in, that Ravenous Hydra is going to keep me there. So eventually here I get some breathing room, and right away I notice bot lane fight, so I teleport down. And here's the perspective from Midbeast's point of view.
Did that miss? That minion actually entered me so hard. I need to get the fuck out. Electrocute!
So after the teleport, I decide to take out that tower and push out the lane, then recall and head straight to the next fight.
Good luck.
So here's what it looked like from my point of view. By the way, the amount of damage I did to that Evelyn with my Q was so confusing. I was like, does Evelyn's passive actually do that? But later on discovered it was actually Leona's Guardian Keystone that did the trick. So as you guys saw from the previous clip, this is the teleport that Jax was making. I was actually playing very scared until I know for a fact that when I jump in, I'm not going to die or get blown up instantly, so that's when I start going in. I actually get legendary, we clean up, and then we get mid tower. I just keep pushing, get the tier 2 mid tower. As you guys see, Midbeast is behind, so he's splitting at bot lane. A little while later, they summon Rift Herald mid, a really massive fight breaks out, so I'm going to show you guys from his point of view. Right there I go for the R flash, aiming for Evelyn for that one auto attack, but little did I know I actually made Midbeast flash as well because of how threatening I am.
Can we win? No. It's literally just the Kassadin. If we deal with him, we're fine.
So here a recall, I actually see Midbeast was pushing top lane, so I had to go and match it, and that's why I was here, because I was really just defending a pushed in wave. And then after that I decide to roam, I see a teleport opportunity, and then I go down there instantly. As you guys can see on the map, Midbeast and also Fiora was at bot lane, so it was kind of confusing that he ended up pushing top and then going straight to bot lane to split push there. We just end up cleaning up house. I was really nervous going on Cassiopeia, but I think in hindsight I should have chased down Cassiopeia instead of Evelyn and gotten 2 kills there. Roughly 1 minute later, when everyone's respawned and back on the map, we go for another fight, and this time I'm trying to chase down Midbeast, but this Leona was so annoying. Like, there were so many peels that just get locked down over and over and over again, so there was a lot of cooldowns being wasted. But right now I'm like a walking Terminator that can just keep blinking and keep flashing. Everyone I go on just literally gets popped because Kassadin that's fed 10 and 1, and also nearing that level 16 power spike is just insane. This champion literally plays himself at this point, but early game is very rough. This is the part of game that I realized that I have mana issues, because the moment I blinked, I went from half mana to basically out of mana. I was like, oh my god, actually I need a blue buff so badly, because if I had one more ult charge after that would have killed Cassiopeia because of how I can nuke someone down with Lich Bane. So this is a reverse situation where I'm split pushing and they're sieging mid.
I can't go against Kassadin, you're a clown if you think I can.
Not sure what that Camille was doing, but that was extremely questionable. Because of Camille's death, we also lose a tier 2 mid tower. It was pretty frustrating actually. At this point, I was just sitting on the side as a split pusher going, oh my god, someone died. A part of me is like, tier 2 mid tower fell and I need to recall and go back help them. But then the inner Tryndamere tells me to go back in and keep split pushing. So we pick off top tier 2 tower and we get a sweet 400 gold, and then I just start recalling. But here's Midbeast's point of view.
We can't Baron, you idiots. Oh god, if Kassadin TPs ever... This is like the worst call I've ever heard.
Little did he know I was actually in base and I did not have teleport. But I guess it was still the right decision because my team was in position to fight them if they were to finish off Baron. Anyways, as you guys can see from the clip, I am already roaming over to River. And this is where a massive team fight breaks out.
What? Oh! Idiots. I know that, it was fucking horrendous.
So yeah, I had a little bit of fun and just went straight for Midbeast. I just wanted to see what his reaction would be. After taking out Baron, half of us recalled and the other half decided to go for Fiora. As you guys can see, that parry was so well baited out. So Camille basically juked it out with her E by dashing to a minion instead of Fiora. Just off of that play, we were able to get mid inhib and then we just go straight for Infernal Drake as well. We're really far ahead at this point. We actually get collapsed on here, so it was pretty interesting how I thought we were just going to forward into the enemy team since, look at this, like, Leona's so chunked, right? And look at where Leona goes. She goes really far away, and I thought, okay, she's already long gone. And then after that, it's like, you can't even see Leona, and next thing you know, she's in that little bush. And at the time, I thought she was hiding in that bush, but I thought I was hallucinating. I thought she actually left the area, which is correct, like, she did leave the area. But in the moment, I was just freaking out. I just didn't know what was going on, but it was just simply her using her E.
Flanking. No, that's not good. I always forget Camille honestly fucks LeBlanc so hard.
So yeah, I wanted to show that clip because I was really confused why my team didn't follow up as well, and it was because they were busy with Midbeast. So that's why I thought, oh, why did I just die for free there? At this point, we pressed so much of a lead that Jax is able to take out Fiora with ease, and then we're able to just end it off with Baron minions as well. At the very end, you guys can see that I do teleport in after the game ends and I join the family photo. But yeah, that was my first time Kassadin beating Midbeast. I thought that was a very hilarious game that I wanted to share with everyone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time.